Stitchers, it's Becky the Obsessed Stitcher back with you for an update. Today is Sunday, September 16th, and it's been a couple months, so I wanted to get a video up for an update and let you know all the crafty things I've been doing. I'm actually going to film this in parts just because I'll forget and I can't gather everything around me. You'd probably never see me. But I'm going to start off with my cross stitch, so if you're not interested in the other things, which are some crochet, not a lot, but some, and then garment sewing. That's my new, when I'm not cross stitching in my free time, I'm sewing. I probably should be doing like house cleaning or something, but oh well. Nobody coming to my house, and we're good, right? Nobody sees it, nobody knows. Anyway, so in gathering everything, I realized I have stitched on a lot of things since the last time I saw you. Let me start with an almost finish, and I should probably unroll it. As you know, I found a pattern from a designer actually she started in the 70s, Marilee Beams, and I reached out to her. I found she lived in my area, reached out to her, and we have become acquainted. She is so sweet, and I don't know if you recall, I live in Northern California, and last October, it's almost a year now, we had horrible, horrible fires that thousands of homes burnt, and hers was one. And so I wanted to make this piece for her to put in her new home. She lost so many treasures, and I had reached out to the community quite a while ago and gathered some funds from some very kind, generous stitchers and gifted that to her. She could do whatever she wanted with it, but I had hoped in my note to her that she would, use it to start stitching, and she actually did. She does needlepoint now, so she has done a couple of pieces for her new home when it's done, but this is one that is a pattern of hers, and it's called the Friendship Sampler, and I still have to put our initials in. The original chart says either made by MB for C. Somebody was a friend of hers, she had stitched in it, but so my initials are BS, which I think is funny, so I always like to put BLS, so it's more like bliss than BS. So I need to chart it out because this is charted for two initials, and I know her middle initial too. Some of her patterns have her middle initial in it, so I need to do that. But other than that, it is done. I have found a frame for it. Actually, I found a frame. It's still at my work. I don't know if it's going to fit, but anyway, there that is. So I have an almost finish. So I was really happy to get that done. I kind of knocked it out. At one point I just said, I'm going to finish this week. And now I need to get on it. Maybe this coming week I'll get that charted and stitched in so I can get it framed, because I believe her new home is getting close. So I don't know how much longer she's going to be before she's in her new home. So anyway, so that's one thing. And then it's September, and it's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and I was inspired by Andrea, I Heart Cross Stitching, to stitch something gold. Gold is the color for Childhood Cancer Awareness, and there's a hashtag Go Gold for Charlotte. She was a little girl. I told you about her last year. So I pulled my piece out that I started last year. Can't believe or I did that much because I think I only stitched on it in September. So it is lavender and lace, Queen Anne's lace. That's what it's called. So there's the piece. So that's what I'm stitching. And right now I'm stitching like right across. I'm doing the diagonal stitching, not quite as Brian has instructed, but blitz stitch, if you've seen his diagonal stitching, he is much better. I'm looking at it upside down. So here, this is, yeah, let me kind of pull my threads out. I'm parking, and I love stitching on this. I believe this is, well, it's his Zweigart linen. I want to say Cashel. I think it's 28 count, I'm guessing. But I've been loving this, and there is 2 different colors of Krynic in it. And I really am enjoying it. So I've been stitching on that actually last week some. Yeah, and I did post one picture on Instagram of this with that hashtag. So anyway, I really, really enjoy this piece. It's hard to put down. I just, I don't know if you remember months ago I said, I'm not going to stitch the ladies. I have no interest. But once I did one, I think it was Moonflowers I started with, and just the colors, how it shows the drape in the fabric, I'm like way down that rabbit hole trail, whatever you want to say. I love it. Love them. So I have a few. So I had this pattern. So when I think it's on Facebook, it's a Flosstube. Tis the season. I can't say it. Stitch along for this piece here. Since I had bought this book a while ago, I thought, I'll participate. And I'm using the fabric that I got from Melanie at Yarns and Threads. Here's the full picture. So what I'm doing, of course, I'm a DMC queen, so I'm doing it in DMC, but to get some variegation, I've just barely got to start. I love the color of this fabric. I counted it out. It's 39 count. So, half of that is the count of it, because I'm doing over 2, but I'm doing 1 over 2, and I'm using it. I've got 3 different colors of DMC in the bird. That's his tail. And then I've got 2 different colors of, there, that's a good picture. That's probably the color they are. So this leaf and this leaf are actually charted to be different colors. So those are 2 different colors of green from those 2 different colors of green. And these berries, I messed up. I don't know what I did. They're not supposed to be in a row like that, but mine are. And then in here, the outline is 1 color, but I've done 2 colors. So I'll tell you my colors of red, my DMC colors, if you're interested, and I'll tell you the greens too. So the DMC red I'm using is 3721. Here, I'll pull them out. 815 and 3803. So here are, excuse my nails. My fingers are always dry. I actually put oil on them before I do a video because they're always so dry. Ugh. Oh well, I do not spend money on getting my nails done. I'm too cheap for that. Anywho, there are the 3 different colors of red I'm doing. So, it'll be something. When it's all done, it'll all look good. I'm not too worried about it. And then the 2 different colors for the leaves, or the 4 different colors for the leaves. So, we've got 581 and 580. I think one of them is called for, and then I just kind of went next door in my storage for the other one. So that's one of the leaves. And then the other one is more olive green. They are 3051 and 3052. So anyway, I just kind of, some of them are half stitches of one color, and then the other, I started off that way, then I realized you can't really see it, so I'm just doing a few of one color, and then I'll jump to another, you know, trying to keep the pattern right is the challenge, or stitch as the pattern shows, but my motto, good enough, or close enough is good enough. And another thing, I had started this in April on my birthday, and I don't have the pattern here. I'm looking, I don't. I'll put a picture in with this. It's a Stony Creek pattern. It's fairly small. I think it's Live, Love, Laugh. There's 3 different patterns with butterflies, so you probably can't see it, but there's some metallic in there. But I've been enjoying that. That's, I don't want to say confetti hell, but it's pretty, it's slow going. There's a lot of color changes in there, but I've been enjoying that. And this is, I did not dye this fabric. I purchased the fabric that was called for. It's a cashel linen. I really like it. I like this cashel linen a lot. So that's why I think my, the memory. The Queen Anne's lace is on the same, I think, because they really seem similar. And I had dyed that one, light colored pink. And then another one I've been working on a little bit is my Marjolaine Bastin, The Gathering. So here is the pattern, and you can see I've just started this guy right there. And there he is. That is confetti heavy also, and I also dyed this fabric. So, love dyeing. I haven't dyed anything in a long time, but I need to because I have a project I will tell you about. And here's another one that I don't have the pattern for, so I'll have to put a picture in. This is my it's a Heaven and Earth design, and it's called Time. What is it called? I forget. But anyway, I'll have it, a picture of it. So I love that I can actually start seeing the detail. I really love stitching on this. It's like 28, 25 count, even weave. Lugana, I'm guessing. I probably have it written down somewhere, but I really like stitching on it too. Very nice. And just thought I'd spend a little time with one of my Hades. And then I do, ever since I finished my temperature sampler, 2015. So I did in 2015, I'm pretty sure. So 2016 maybe. I don't know. But I would do it every Saturday morning. And so once I finished that year, I decided that I would do Christmas stitching on Saturday mornings. So I've been working out of this little Blackbird design, Deck the Halls, and it's got all these strawberries. And I don't... Did they do a video or no? They didn't do a video. They at Nashville Market. They were interviewed by someone. I watched their video, and they said that they stitched them and then they photocopied them so that they had the different finishes. So I think I'm going to have to do that because I've completed 2 of them. I don't think I showed this last time. So that's one. So it looks like, okay, yeah, you could make a strawberry out of that. But then what I did is I had it on this little scroll rod or scroll frame. And look how close it is. So for a strawberry, you have to go, you need that fabric. And yeah, no, I don't have enough fabric there. So these guys, maybe the photocopy will be turned into the strawberry, so that'll be interesting. And this one, I was working on her this morning, Christmas Visitor. Let me show you what she looks like. So, oh, I was just showing you. Anyway, there she is. So there you can see, I don't know if that's, I guess water she's swimming in. Almost looks like she's in a flower. So I love that color. Again, just doing DMC. So anyway, so that's what is what I was working on this morning. I think that's all my whips that I've been working on since the last time I saw you. So I don't know if it was in my video. It's been too long, but I had shown that I had the Mirabilia Queens, the seasonal queens, and I did not have autumn. And I had hoped, you know, to run across her at a reasonable price. And Diane from Mondot Stitches had offered to send me hers to do. So I, let me grab these. She was kind enough to send it to me. So I guess we're moving into haul. And so she has loaned me or sent me her Autumn Queen. So I have Autumn Queen. I've been admiring not only Diane's, but Lorna, the Ladybird Stitcher. There are others, but I've been watching Lorna. I've been watching the progress on her, and she lives in Australia. And for each beginning of their season, she starts and is working on that. So Diane sent me that. So in order to try to return her pattern to her, I want to get it going. So I have kind of started to kit up the other ones, because what I want to do, got them here, is take a big piece of fabric, dye it all one color, a gray or blue or give it some kind of light background, and then take a color in here and pull out one of the colors, you know, get that piece of fabric for this piece and just do a little splotchy dyeing in it just to bring it out, because I think a little color in the background would be really pretty on each of them. So I want to do that for each of them. So here, let me just pull them out and show them. They're so pretty, and pretty sure that our visit from Orietta was after my last video. I can't remember now, but oh, I'm sure it was. Yes. So anyway, Orietta came over for her vacation, and she had contacted our group, and we met with her at our local needlework store. And I was telling her about this because she's like dived headfirst into knitting. So that's what she's doing. So I had told her about that I had these ladies, and she said they all look snooty. And they do. They are snooty ladies, but I mean, look at the colors in that dress. So that's Summer Queen. So I have her. I've showed them before, but I'm going to show them again. They're so pretty. And, Olivia did one of the angels. Can't think of the name of it. This is Spring Queen. And when on Olivia's piece, the colors, it's a lavender and lace, the colors in the fabric of the angel's gown, they're just stunning, So I can't help myself. And this is Winter Queen. Me and my snooty ladies. Anyway, so that is in the works. And then another friend has loaned me her Four Seasons, Marjolaine Baston, and it's all, it's in plastic, so I'll try to show. So this will be in the works too, sometime soon, but I have so much going on that I'm always okay with just getting a few stitches in and then putting it away until I feel the urge again to stitch them, but it's all good with me. So I'm going to pause this video and grab a little more of my haul, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with some haul. I have to say that I really have curbed my watch it, see somebody do it, Google it. It's on Amazon, buy it. I just been trying to be content with what I have. I have 3 totes, like the big totes of patterns. You know, there's a few that are new, but a lot of them are old or, you know, thrift finds, but 3 totes full. A bookshelf, a bookcase of books that are full of patterns. Magazines, you know, way back in the day, and current magazines. I stopped my Just Cross Stitch. I stopped my Stony Point. I have so much, and I was actually looking through for something in one of my totes and saw, you know, just all of these patterns, and, you know, stitching is so slow. So I really have tried to, do I have a halo? Tried to curb the buying. I really have. So for all you vendors out there, I'm sorry. And even in my thrifting, and I haven't found that much cross stitch lately, but when I have, I really look at it. Is it something I feel like I will stitch? Where, you know, when I first was back, it was like, oh my God, it's cross stitch. I just brought everything home, and then I ended up with this stuff that I'm kind of, So I really have to love it. And even, you know, I was buying Ada whenever I found it. I have so much Ada. I have a 3-drawer plastic thing. You know, the drawers are this big, with Ada and linen and even weave. You know, a lot of it's Ada, and I like stitching on Ada. I just look, you know, linen is beautiful, but I'm just happy to stitch. So my haul is not extensive. It's limited, but one of the things I did treat myself to was Teresa, Kitten Stitcher vignette, Teresa, her S-Word Little Rag sampler. So I did treat myself to that kit. It is so cute, and she sent a strawberry, and it's got the, what's it called? The wool. Seeing it here, but it's a wool, and there's instructions on how to do it, and the fabric came with it too. So I don't know when I'll start it, but I just thought that'd be fun to do something interesting. And like Lori at Mischievous Stitches, she actually did something with the tissue that Teresa wrapped it in, but I saved mine too. I thought that was some pretty cool stuff. So anyway, I'll do something with that. And I don't think there's anything else that I ordered and bought. Well, this actually is for those queens, the seasonal queens. One of them, I think winter has a lot of white. And while I have quite a few skeins of white, I didn't have enough that was called for of the same dye lot. So I did buy a cone of white DMC from Joann's. Thought, that'd be, well, it's really washing out, be something to, you're always going to use white. And for that, I thought to have all the same color, same dye lot would be important. I think sometimes, I don't worry about it if it's, not right, butted up next to each other. I'm not that picky, but I thought for those, I thought I'd splurge on that. So I did buy that also. And then a gift I received, I had sent, that's funny, Kelly, Stodola, a little something, found it, sent it for her and Joan to use some fabric. Nothing, I expected nothing in return. I just thought it would be cute. I wasn't going to sew with some farm fabric. But as a thank you, she sent me this cute Bitsy Bob that she makes, and I haven't put it into action yet, but it's got a good magnet there. Look at that safety pin. But anyway, they're so cute. So I appreciate that. That was very kind of her to send. And I got also this cute little card that she made, just a little thank you card with this very autumnal. Oh, look at that. I'm going to get all gussied up. Needle minder. So that was very kind. Thank you so much, Kelly. I love her and Joan's videos. They're very fun. So anyway, I got that as a gift, and then another gift I received was from my friend Angie, who is Bummai. She makes videos on YouTube now. I'll link her channel below. But she sent me this candy dish all the way from Illinois, which I thought was very kind. It got here in one piece. And I had found at a thrift store this frog. So, and it fits in there perfectly. Look at that. Wasn't that sweet of her? So now I have a place for all of my scissors. So isn't that cool? Or you can also, I saw somebody at the Indiana retreat it was a smaller one, but had made it into a pin cushion, and then you can hang your scissors from the outside. So ideas, to-dos. Who knows when it'll ever happen, but anyway. And then I was on a lunchtime walk in my work neighborhood, and one of the, it's a Haute Couture, it's a vintage clothing store. She had tables outside and was just wanting people to take stuff away. She buys stuff in, lots and comes across odds and ends. But this sewing basket, isn't that cute? It's in pretty rough shape, but and actually this side, it's broken. It doesn't have the other little lift assist. But I thought that was pretty cool. So I haven't got anything in it, but I thought that was a neat find. So it's now in my stash. And then a friend of mine, I showed, actually, I'm going to insert a clip here. Insert the clip of another prize I won. So I'll be back right after you see that. Hey Stitchers, it's Becky the Obsessed Stitcher, back with an unboxing. I won Pam Stitching Between the Lines. She had a giveaway celebrating her grandmother's birthday. Her grandmother is passed away, but she was celebrating, pretty sure it was her 100th birthday. It would have been her 100th birthday. And she had told a story about how special the relationship she had with her grandma, and I also had a wonderful relationship with both of my grandmas, and one of them is the one that got me sewing and crocheting and knitting when I was a kid. Now it's, cuckoo. See my thread over here. This is my VHS collection for my grandkids. I'm in my bonus room to get some good light. It's evening after it's September 10th. I came home and this package was on my chair, so I thought I'd open it and share it with you because I told Pam I would make a video to share this and do an update. So I'm just filming this separately, but opening it up, it was a beautiful gift. Came really quickly. Make sure there's nothing in here. Aw, look at this beautiful oh no, it's tomatoes. In her video I thought it was pumpkins, but it's pincushion tomatoes. And actually I got one from a friend. She is moving to Mississippi, and she was cleaning out her mother-in-law's stuff because they have to pack their life to move. Now look at this giant tomato pincushion, and I don't know what's inside, but the pins just glide through. It's not the normal stuff in a pincushion. So anyway, I'm so excited. I love it. Let me show you what I got. I know it's the Brenda Gervais pattern. And she sent a sweet postcard. Using my light. And then here's the beautiful Brenda Gervais Springtime Messenger. Was the one Pam had done on the gingham fabric, which I am so excited about. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever bought any of this, but I really like it. I love gingham. And the needle minder, Stitch and Be Happy, that she said Down Sunshine Lane gave her. And the button collection, so cute. And then the beautiful threads, oh my goodness. Threads that go with it. Thank you so much, Pam. Oh my gosh, look at these. And this fabric with the buttons. So cute. Well, thank you so much, Pam. It's beautiful. I love the bag, the pattern. So cute. Oh, it has a bird on it. So I'll catch you back in the video. Thanks, bye. So in that I showed a big tomato pincushion that I got from a friend, and my friend had lived with her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law's health was failing and she's passed away, and now my friend is moving to Mississippi to be near one of her kids and granddaughters, twin granddaughters, and she has gifted me with some sewing stuff that her mother-in-law had. So I just thought I'd show you a couple things. I've been kind of slowly going through it. You know, it's not too exciting, but there's some fun stuff in here. So I'd shown that one tomato cushion. Look at this one. There's just needles and pins everywhere. But look at how old this tomato cushion is. Scissors that they're in pretty rough shape, and this is a little pin cushion. How cute is this? You know, there's ideas. If you find little things you can make into pin cushions. And then the one thing that I wanted to show you is this tray. I was going through it this morning with just different, I don't know what these are. But look at this needle. Where did it go? Oh, shoot. Oh, there it is. Oh. Look at this needle. What in the heck do you use that for? Look at that eye. And, you know, maybe once upon a time it was sharp, but holy heck. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, so just some treasures. She actually texted me yesterday. She has come across some more sewing things that were hers. She told me, I saw her last night, she told me back in, must have been the 80s, she was making sleeping bags for Beanie Babies. It took her a while to remember what she was sewing. She housed fabric and odds and ends, and she told me she finally figured out she was making sleeping bags for Beanie Babies. Well, I never got into Beanie Babies with our kids, and certainly I never heard of sleeping bags for them. But, oh, that was funny. So then the last thing I think I have to show you, cross stitch, is this one. I picked this up on one of my thrifting jaunts, and I haven't even opened it yet to show you. So it is a kit, a Janlin kit, and look at the patterns. I got all of these. Do you see that price tag? $2. And it's a full kit with all 3 of those Prairie Schoolers. Is that not cool or what? Oh my gosh. And it's, I mean, look at this one. The Sewing Fairy, what is she called? Prairie Fairy. Well, she's got a needle and a pin cushion and a bird. There she is. Is that not cool? I was excited when I found this. Of course, I immediately started Googling how much are these worth. You know, it's always my, what did I get? How much, you know, what bargain did I get? Anyway, so they're not terribly expensive. I think you can get them pretty easily still, but I was delighted to get this. So I'm going to stop it here for the cross stitch. I'm got some other things to talk about, show a little of my crochet and some of the things I've been sewing. If you're not interested, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you spending the time. I hope you're stitching on something you like, and if you want to see what else I've been doing, hang around. I'll be right back. So one of the things I've been doing is crochet. I've shown crochet before. I think I mentioned that Tina at Simply in Stitches always has this granny, see, it's always a thread, granny stripe Afghan behind her, and I just love it. And so I have this old chest that I had, my grandkids' TV was sitting on, and I kind of rearranged furniture to set up some sewing area. And there was this yarn, you know, Red Heart, you know, Super Saver yarn in there. And so I just am stitching with as much as I have. I'm going to do this granny stripe. It's my one granddaughter's favorite color is purple, pink, lavender. Like it's one color, but she does love, I think this is lavender. So I'm just going to crochet it up as much as I have. I think I had 3 white, 3 of the lavender. So, you know, that's something I'm working on. It's like total brainless crochet, my favorite. So that's kind of not too exciting. And then last time I told you about the corner to corner crochet where I'm blocking, you know, in little blocks doing this. Let me just see if I can hold it up so you can see. Ooh. Is that, now how does it go? Okay, it goes this way. I've got threads hanging off, but it's going to be the SF for the San Francisco Giants for one of my great nephews. So you can kind of see. So here's what it looks like so far, kind of, sort of. I haven't worked on it in a while. I need to write down, so here's my pattern that I used a light box. I had printed out the SF and then on graph paper drew it in, and then you start at the corner with 1 and then 2 and 3 and just build up, and then as colors come in you have I forget what kind of color work it's called in knitting, but you're not carrying threads, you just have the yarn right where it is. But, so you've got this graph, but what's even easier is to have it written down. So, like on the next one, I'll need 15 black, 3 orange, 2 black, 5 orange, and then, you know, 20 black. And so it's actually easier when it's written out. So I haven't done the next stage of the pattern rather than actually following the graph to crochet it. So anyway, so that's where I'm at on that. There's some great tutorials on YouTube on how to do this. It's really, really an easy pattern. Even if you do it one color or some beautiful yarn or something, it would make a beautiful Afghan, because you can't see in that, but maybe in the orange. It really is kind of a pretty stitch, these little squares, and very easy, nearly brainless, especially if you were just, you know, doing it simply with one color, or always have to complicate things. But anyway, so my most exciting crochet start is, again, Tina, Simply in Stitches, had said she wanted to. She's not a real experienced crocheter. She's just starting. She's a great knitter. I actually was doing some of her knit-alongs of socks, and I think that's all I did with her. She did some sweaters and stuff, but that's just too big of an undertaking for knitting. But for crochet, she was going to start a crochet along, give it a try, and I thought, oh, I like that. This is called, a good vintage, what is it called? It's hard to find the name of the pattern, but if you vintage granny Cardi or something, you can get it on Ravelry, but caution, it is written for English as in England crochet, and so their terms, like a treble for them is a double crochet for us, so you have to kind of watch. But I've crocheted long enough and know a granny, you know, pattern. So it's not hard, but you know, actually making a sweater out of it could be another thing. So I have started it. I did not choose these colors. I like this a lot, but I wanted to get yarn at my local yarn shop, Castaway Yarn Shop in Santa Rosa, California. They have an online store. Really great shop. Beautiful, beautiful space. I love that place. It is so cool. So anyway, so that's the pattern. And here is the color palette that I'm doing it in. So blue is kind of my main color. I'm just going to, you know, do them in that sequence. And then for the cuffs and the binding or the buttonhole band, I'm going to do this. But, you know, I don't know if it's going to fit. That's the thing with knit and crochet. I try to get the gauge right. I actually took it into the yarn shop, and we'll see. I don't know how you... I thought it was close, but when I measured this around me and measured it, it seems like it's going to be bigger than it should be. But anyway, it's, you know, each row I'm trying to, I have been, look at that, no ends to weave in, no ends to weave in. I'm doing them as I go. And once you start, you know, it's brainless to, you know, do this. It's very, very easy up till when you have to start doing things to make it into a sweater. So that's the crochet. So I'll be back with garment sewing. Okay, I'm back. I have a pile of tops in my lap. So garment sewing. I had watched the YouTuber and blogger, what is her name? Vanessa, I think is her name, the Crafty Gemini. A long time ago, I had used a tutorial of hers to make a little zip bag. I'd made a number of them for a friend's wedding. She gave them to her bridesmaids. And so I always, you know, she was kind of on my radar. And then she had proposed to do a sew-along for beginning sewists. Excuse me. And I thought, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try it. And my garment sewing history has always been a struggle. I think part of my problem was I always used quilting cotton. It's what, you know, cute fabrics are, and I would just get it at Joann's. And, you know, quilting cotton is really heavier than most garment. It just doesn't drape, right? Like this t-shirt, it drapes, it fits around you. It doesn't, you know, quilting cotton is just too heavy. I think there are some garments you can make out of it, but, and that's just always what I went to because I always felt like anything else was going to be hard to work with, you know, slippery or whatever. I've made some other things successfully, but more than not, it doesn't fit. But now with YouTube, there are so many tutorials to help you with fit, and I had actually taken a class at the JC here about it, but it just never clicked. I still struggled. I stopped sewing, but there's a couple. There's not as many sewing videos as there are cross stitch videos or vloggers. There are ones that show fabric haul, pattern haul. There are a few hands-on tutorial. There's one, I really like her videos. Karina, her channel name is called Lifting Pins and Needles. She lives in Brazil, and she puts out a lot of videos with great information on fit, how to hack patterns. So anyway, back to Vanessa. This is the pattern that she was doing the sew along with, Buttrick 6214, and she had, I think, 8 videos. And this wasn't so much about the fit, but about just, you know, basic how to stitch. So the video or the tutorial series was this one, but without this color change here. So this pattern, in, you know, numerous videos, she made it very easy. And so my first one, you might, and I got this at Joann's, it's a rayon, which rayon is actually a man-made fiber that is breathable. So in the heat of the summer, I've been wanting things that could breathe rather than, you know, things that are polyester that don't breathe. So this was my first attempt. So here you can see it. I'm going to insert a picture here so you can see it just hanging, but you know, it's kind of big. It's not fitted. I've been hand washing these because, well, it's really soft, and I can touch it up with an iron, but you don't want to put it in the dryer because this stuff unravels like crazy. So here's the pattern. Here's my mock-up, and it, you know, you're supposed to make a muslin, and so I keep buying fabric for a muslin. I should just buy muslin because I like it so much. I want it to turn out. And this one, the neck was just a little wide, so I put these little pieces in here so that it would hide my bra straps for the most part. I think this one does. And then the one that I got the fabric that I had wanted to do, and so I adjusted the neckline a little, and this was the one. It's wrinkly, it's dirty, I've worn it, I haven't washed it again. But I've been hand washing them, but this rayon fabric is really nice. Nice and cool in the hot summer. So that was my first make. And then my second make was this pattern, Simplicity D0945. It's a pattern hacking one, and I bought this, no stitch along. I did it all on my own. You know, this thing just look, you know, it's terrible. It's very unattractive. So with this pattern thing, you can, you know, mix and match the kind, you know, different sleeves, different hemline. So I actually did this hemline here with these sleeves. So I think the line drawing, you can kind of see the back. I did this hemline here because I wanted it to be a little more fitted, and I thought that would be cute. So I got this, oh shoot, the name of this kind of fabric is escaping me. Can't think of it, and my little button latch on the back did not work. But anyway, so here is I wore it with a little knit skirt I made from a book. I'll post a picture of it here. She's got great tips in it. Yeah, her name's escaping me too. I should have grabbed it so I could have it on the tip of my tongue instead of way far away. God knows where it's at. Can't think of her name. Anyway, so I wore it with this white skirt. It was cute, but the white skirt, it was kind of a one-time thing. I actually took it apart. It was too big. I haven't put it back together, but this top with the white in it looked really cute with the white skirt. So I just wore it to one of my grandkids' birthday parties, and then I've got the split here, which is probably too high for somebody of my age range. So I need to work on it. My button, that came undone. I didn't have the right thing. But it turned out cute. It's very light. I'm going to stop the video and look up this kind of fabric because it's making me crazy. I'll be right back. This is a batik. It's actually a little bit like not muslin, but gauze kind of. So it's really light and airy. It was super cool. It was a super hot day on the birthday, so I haven't worn this since, but I love this. So next summer, I'll definitely have. What I'd like to have is figure out how to make pants that fit, have a white pair of pants that look good, or shorts, or a skirt, or skort. I wear all the time. In the heat, I've got one from Walmart that I bought years ago. It's a light jean skirt with the shorts underneath, and then at Costco I got knit, same thing, skirt with shorts underneath. I bought 4 of them. I find something that works, I buy them up. Anyways, that would be even better. It's little short skirts or no thanks. But that's what I wore with this, a little white short skirt, if you can believe it. Anyway, so I love this. I thought it turned out great. Especially this pattern that I hate that top. I don't know why I even bought the pattern, but that, I like that. I like that. So anyway, so that was my second make. And then my third make was a stitch along, again, with the Crafty Gemini. She put out a free pattern. If you wanted to buy it printed, you had to pay for it, but you could download PDF patterns for free. And for those of you who do not garment sew, this whole downloading PDF patterns was new to me. You download it. It's, 20, 30, 40, 70 pages of 8.5 by 11. They have instructions that you cut them up, tape them together. You can trace that onto something else. A lot of people are in Team Trace, apparently. Others are in, there's Team PDF, Team Paper. They've got to have the paper pattern like, we buy, right? Buy it, cut it out, trace it. I've never heard of such a thing, but anyway, so she would give you this top that she designed. You could print it, tape it up, cut it out, and it's called, Westchester Dolman sleeve top. Westchester, I think that's what she called it. Anyway, so this was my first version. This was, so my new thrifting is now for sewing stuff. So I've been trying to find fabric that I can use to either make garments or make muslins out of, but I like to do a wearable muslin, so my efforts are not for, just toss them. So anyway, here's it's kind of too heavy, but it is a knit, so I've learned how to sew on knit, so that has helped, getting away from the quilting cotton. So anyway, so this was my my muslin for this, and it's not showing up great, but it was successful. I've worn it. It's heavy, so I haven't worn it much, but I did order from Vanessa fabric she was selling for the Westchester Dolman Sew Along, and this was the one, and it is so soft. It is polyester, which, you can do amazing things in the lab with polyester. So it's warmer, but it's becoming, winter's coming, fall's coming. So it turned out really nice. The neck is a little bit big, but you can see my, I've learned how to sew on knits. I took my serger in. I've had my serger for 30 years. It has always been a mystery to me. I've hardly ever used it. I took it in, got it tuned up, cleaned up, and I've been successfully sewing with it. I don't think I put this, I sewed this on my regular sewing machine, and the thing about knits is they don't unravel. So you don't really need to do a seam finish. So you can see a zigzag is the trick on a regular machine too, because it'll stretch and no stitches pop. So anyway, so that was my Westchester Dolman top. So I was really happy with that. So check out Vanessa, the crafty, I would say crafty curator, not her, Crafty Gemini. She's got some great tutorials. I haven't seen her put up anything in a while because that was all free. The pattern was free. The whole stitch along was free. Sew along was free. But then she put out for sale, because this is what she does for a living, hacks of this pattern where you could, do different things. She, showed you what is going to be in the class. But I like this top. I am not crazy about this sleeve. It's just all one piece. I prefer a set-in sleeve, so I did not purchase that class. And to do more of these, this is not my favorite. But anyway, so I enjoyed that. I felt successful. I've been watching a lot of sewing videos, and another person that I've watched, her name is Fanny. Her channel name is So Much Fabric, I think. I'll link her channel and Karina's channel down below. And Fanny had made 4 jumpsuits with 4 different patterns. So I thought, maybe I could try that. So I downloaded another PDF. She had a coupon code for one particular pattern for the PDF. So I went ahead and bought it, and it was the Abbi Jumpsuit, and it's by Smiley Patterns, and Smiley stands for Sewing Makes You Love Yourself. That's kind of a hashtag that was going around, is going around. So two ladies have come together to make patterns under that name, and this is one of them. And what I like about sewing nowadays with YouTube and Instagram is you can, you know, the Abbi Jumpsuit, you can look up a hashtag, Abbi Jumpsuit, and see this outfit on all different kinds of body types and see if that's something you want to do. So, you know, if it's going to look good on you or whatever. So I actually posted mine this morning on Instagram. I had made it 2 weekends ago. I'd been working on it to finish it for something I wore it for last night. I had my husband take a couple pictures. I put it up with the hashtag so you can look at me. Actually, I'll post those pictures here too, but it's a knit jumpsuit. So, you know, they call it secret pajamas, and this fabric I got really feels like pajamas, but it also has the dolman sleeves. And I just, they're comfy, but it's hard to fit them. It's a fun, and I kept calling it a costume because of the crazy pattern of fabric I bought. But I did enjoy wearing it. It was very comfortable. I felt like I got a good fit, but I might make another one in black and maybe a little bit more heavy fabric than my other one. It's heavy, but I'm afraid I'd like to wash and dry it, but the fabric does not. The care is to just lay it out flat. So I'm afraid this thing is just going to keep stretching as knit does. I don't even think I can hang it in my closet because the weight of it is going to, the fabric is just going to stretch, I'm afraid. It's not like cotton will, like a cotton sweater or something you make, right? It can just keep growing. But anyway, so I've put pictures here of this jumpsuit. Again, I thought it was successful. I had the top and the bottom sewn, but not sewn together, and I just couldn't tell if they were fitting, and so I put them on. I sewed it together finally. I've just been trying to base things together so if they don't fit, I can, have some wiggle room and undo it. So I thought the night I put them together, I thought I'm just going to go into my bathroom and cry because it was a lot of fabric to buy. Sewing clothes for yourself is not an inexpensive undertaking. That's why I've been loving finding now fabric at thrift stores. So I keep the cost down. But so I go into the bathroom. I sewed it together, went into the bathroom, and I was shocked how I kind of went, this kind of fits. I was pretty stoked about it. So anyway, that was that, my jumpsuit. So now I'm going to show you patterns that I've purchased, a pattern haul. I've downloaded quite a few PDF patterns, so I'm not going to show you those, but this is a new world for me in the thrift stores. And I literally said to my friend before I started sewing, why are all these patterns at thrift stores? Who is going to buy these? Yeah, I'm buying patterns at thrift stores. Again, I'm really trying to be more selective and mindful. Would I really make it? So anyway, so these are ones that I bought new because, fortunately, Joann's puts patterns on sale. There's like a couple days, 2 days a day for McCall's. It's the last day for McCall's, but they're $1.99. So you can pretty easily get patterns very inexpensively. The PDF patterns online, not so inexpensive, but they're, you know, these indie designers, independent designers. So, you know, it's not a big, you know, buttrick simplicity pumping out patterns that, you know, you can buy for $2. So anyway, so this is my pattern haul. Buttrick 6357. Thought that was cute. So I'm just gonna go through here. Buttrick 6026. Actually, let me show you the line drawings. That, you know, and watching the videos, that really is more, because the pictures, you know, you have these little toothpick ladies modeling them, but the line drawings are a little more interesting. And I'm learning that, you know, darts and different pieces that you can use to fit are actually better. You know, I used to look for like this one is just like, there's no fit to it. There's no darts or anything. It just hangs. I mean, that is not attractive. But if there was some fitting in it, you know, that would help make it look better, make it fit on your body. You know, nobody's going to look great in a big tent. So again, Buttrick 6357, this guy here. So here's the line drawings. And Buttrick 6026. I thought this was cute. I actually have a piece of fabric that I got at the thrift store in a kind of a chambray, I think it's called, that I thought I would try to do that. I don't know if I have enough for the sleeves, but there's those line drawings. So those are little sewn pleats, darts, top stitching. Anyway, Simplicity 8053. Just like to have a lot of top options. And here's, you know, hopefully I'll get a pair of pants. I actually took a Craftsy class with Sandra Betzina, I bought it, to do pants, and I've made a pair that does not fit, but I think I know what I need to do to get them to fit. And this is quite a lady, Mimi G. This is a Simplicity 8093. She's got quite a story. She has YouTube videos. She has a blog. She's got quite a story, and really does some amazing things. So she designs her own line of patterns. So I thought these culottes and that top is really cute. So, you know, sewing is faster than cross-stitching. Okay, so now we're on to patterns I got at the thrift store. So this is a, who is this? Vogue 8454. It's, I mean, you know, they get dated, but with a little imagination and fabric choice, we could get them to look a little more modern. So that's a cool looking jacket. Simplicity 4403. I don't know if I'll ever make a jacket, but you know, it was cheap. I thought it was kind of an attractive silhouette. Here's Vogue 8324. Now, if you are into sewing, these types of sleeves and bows, they're all coming back again. So I picked that up at the thrift store. Again, you can, you know, change the sleeves around, pick the fabric you like. That's what I like about sewing. You can choose the exact fabric you want to top in, you know, the features. I like a V-neck. I don't want those sleeves. I want those sleeves, not this, you know. You can do whatever you want. And this is a retro one, Simplicity 4044. What I thought was cool, and you can't see it here in the front, but, actually you can, that hemline on the pants, and it doesn't show in the line drawings because it's only on the front, but I thought that was interesting. Here's, you know, whole 25 cents. My friend actually bought these for me. She found them. So this is Easy McCall's, $69.39. And there are no line drawings on the back, but, you know, that dress could be cute if I got it to fit right, and the fabric, you know, obviously, hello, shoulder pads, yikes. Easy McCall's 90.39. You know, maybe the pants would be cute, or I don't even know what's in here because, again, no line drawings. So we have a cardigan, a top, pants, and leggings. So, interesting. And See and Sew 36.30. I don't know about this one. But, you know, if you just needed a simple skirt, pants, and once I get to the point, I just figure if I just keep at it, I'll get good at it. To the point of knowing how to get things to fit. I mean, is that not the whole, it's been my whole struggle all my life when I've sewn. And then jean jackets are coming back, so McCall's 43.85. We've got some jean jackets. So there's the line drawings. So I think that's it, unless I come back. Every time I turn off my computer, I think, forgot about that. That might be it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending the time. This is going to be a long video, or it has been a long video. You know how long it was. I appreciate you spending the time. I hope I've inspired you to maybe check out some sewing. I really enjoyed it. Again, discovering that you need to get away from quilting cotton for garments. It just does not work, but I used it. I could show you, maybe I'll pop in a picture of a top I made years ago, quilting cotton. I haven't worn it in a long time, but I think I still have it, you know. I gotta hold on to everything. Bit of a hoarder here. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, all that I have going on. I appreciate you spending the time. I hope you're doing something fun with the thread and needle, fabric, whatever type it is. Have a good day. Bye-bye.